All right, joining the desk now, football greats, Greg Jennings and Seth Joyner. Marcellus, I'll start with you. Your Chargers have no chance tonight.
You messing with my money right now. My Chargers. Damn right. It's going to be a tough one. It's an uphill battle. They have a chance, but it's going to be a psychological game that they're playing, and it's not based just on the scoreboard or the win and loss. Let me break this one down. This is a team going on the road in a short week, Thursday night game. We know how they usually fare. They lose. Add to that, this team is beat up, especially at the running back position. Very difficult. Going to put all of the stress on this passing game and Phillip Rivers, who's having an MVP season. I'm looking at this as one of those psychological games that we saw the New York Giants play against the New England Patriots in their Super Bowl quest. Remember, it was week 17. What was that, 2007? Going against a perfect Patriot team. And the Giants lost that game, 38-35. And everybody was like, oh, man. And then you know what the Giants players were saying? I remember post-game press conference. Oh, if we could see them again. Oh, if we could do this again. And remember, we've only seen it twice in a year where a team has won 3 games against the same team and won a Super Bowl. You're rooting for Kansas City. You should be rooting against Kansas City because the Chargers going to see Kansas City again. And I don't want to play with the odds. There are only 2 teams in history since 86 and 2008 have won 3 straight games on the road to a Super Bowl championship. So if Kansas City beats my Chargers again, what's the odds they're going to beat them again the 3rd time in the playoffs?
Beating them 9 straight, Marcellus, 10 counting tonight.
I said playoffs. I know what I'm saying. I'm using this as a mind game. We're doing some Jedi mind tricks out there for the Chargers. We may lose this one. We're going to gain great confidence and great intel against you and beat you when it counts postseason.
I think that, listen, ties always have to change. You ain't going to beat a team forever, and that record ain't going to stand forever. As I looked at the Kansas City Chiefs last week, I seen them struggle a little bit. They had to have some theatrics at the end of the game to actually pull the game out. And I think we are beginning to see the beginnings of great defenses figure out how to thwart this offense. And I think we're also seeing the beginning of how much they actually miss Kareem Hunt in this offense. Defensively, listen, the Chiefs aren't that good, man. I mean, you look at them, they're ranked 30th. So Phillip Rivers is going to get his. You can count on that. The question is going to be is whether this defense can step up and find a way to not to minimize Patrick Mahomes and what he's doing. And you got a Tyreek Hill that's coming into this game that's limping. You know, back in the old school, first thing I would have did was, first thing we would have did is we would have stepped on that.
Got to step on that foot. How that foot feel?
Right out the gate, you know. But if that guy can't be what he's been through the first 13, 14 weeks of the season, the Chargers are set up perfect to go in there and get this win tonight.
I like the Chargers. I don't like them to win, but I think they have a chance to win, but they can't beat themselves. And when you look at these last 9 games, that's exactly what they've done. 18 takeaways to 4 when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Los Angeles Chargers. 7 of the 9, they've won the Kansas City Chiefs the turnover battle. They've beat them all these games, and they constantly give you extra possessions. When you look at this Kansas City Chiefs offense, tell me, do they need more possessions? No. Absolutely not. And you look at the Los Angeles Chargers, what do? They give the ball away. Number 1 in giveaways. And we talk about the Kansas City Chiefs defense and the lack thereof when it comes to total defense, but they take that ball away. They create turnovers. They give their offensive guys extra possessions. And if the Chargers have any chance to go on the Arrowhead and win, they can't turn the ball over.
You're aware of it. And if you're aware of it, and I'm aware of it, and this whole panel is aware of it, you don't think that Anthony Lynn is aware of that? That's going to be a major talking point for this team. Listen, we're on the road. The worst thing we can do is go out on the road and turn the ball over. It will be a point of emphasis in situational football all week long that they make sure that they lock in on that and make sure that they don't turn the ball over.
The key to beating the Chiefs is to break their offensive serve several times. And that's why Baltimore had a chance. Yeah. They put them in some 3rd and long situations. Hell, they put them in 2 4th down situations at the game, couldn't get it done. But they had a chance to break their serve. And I'm sitting here talking to 2 guys that got paid for getting after the quarterback and creating 3rd and long situations. The issue with the Chargers, Marcellus, Bosa is out there playing, and he's made some plays, but he's not the same Joey Bosa. And then if you look at the entire season, Melvin Ingram, to me, has taken a step back. And that, to me, those two guys, if they were back doing what they did last year, 100% and getting after the quarterback, I would think San Diego could win this game because they would break serve several times. Though Bosa, Ingram aren't the same, Patrick Mahomes will eventually eat them up.
Timing is everything. And everything you just said, all those comments, put them in a bag and tie it up, because Ingram's not the same because he didn't have Bosa most of the year, right? And Bosa's not the same because he's playing himself into shape and into that confidence and still making plays here and there, but not the same disruptive force. What's going to happen? You're finally going to have these forces meet like Voltron right when it matters. So go ahead and win tonight against Kansas City. Go ahead and win another one.
I got you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then in that postseason, something about being against that same team, and you know that personnel, and you know their greatness, but you didn't experience it this year. You're like, Melvin Ingram took a step back. We played Bosa. He wasn't the same either. But then they're going to meet with combined electricity in the postseason, because this is just a prelude, once again, to what we're really gearing up for. That's why I don't think the Chargers win this game, but they may win the war because they're starting to get the intel and confidence they need to beat this vaunted offense.
I'm more of an X's and O's guys. And when I look at the dynamics of this game, you know, you got Tyreek Hill that's not 100%. So he and Kelsey are the biggest two factors on this team. Yeah. Okay? So now,
if outside of Patrick Mahomes,
outside Patrick, I'm talking about his as far as his weapons are concerned.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, if you don't have Hill 100%, then that allows you to use some assets to make sure that Kelsey don't get off. Okay, now how do you?
I want to be clear though, Seth, just so we're on the record. That play, that fourth down play, Tyreek Hill against Baltimore wasn't healthy.
Exactly. I was waiting on that.
I get it.
He don't gotta be 100% to make an impact.
But let me say this: Tyreek Hill didn't make the play so much as Patrick Mahomes.
He was open. He outran.
He went to go get it.
He went and got it.
No, he threw it to him. He threw it to him because you know what the defender was doing? The defender was sitting back there eating popcorn, looking at Patrick Mahomes run around instead of plastering the guy when the quarterback starts to scramble. That's a defensive.
You know why he couldn't plaster?
It's a hard thing to cover when you constantly have to cover for 6-7 seconds.
Listen, but he's standing right there. If he stopped looking at the quarterback and look at the guy that's in his zone.
That was a defensive mistake.
No, absolutely.
But Tyreek Hill will make plays tonight on Thursday Night Football.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But the key to being able to keep Patrick Mahomes under wraps is that he makes the majority of his big plays out of the pocket. And I see too many defenses that are undisciplined from the standpoint. Listen, if you know that this guy got wheels, you can't let him out the pocket. If you got to spy him. Do the fundamental things to make him play the game at all times from the pocket. And if you don't play it from the pocket, then he's on his back.
It's one thing to say it and to preach it throughout the week preparation, but it's another thing to execute that. Every team that they face this year sees the same thing. Have they been able to do it? No. And one thing Brett Favre told me when I was a young player, he said, and I was hurt, I was injured, I was debating on whether I was going to play or not. He said, Greg, 80% of you is better than 100% of most players. 80% or 75% of Tyreek Hill is still faster than almost 100% of players.
Yeah.
Like, so he's gonna be effective regardless, just because he's out there. That's the kind of impact.
And that's
he
interesting.
has.
You said Derwin James, because when they saw each other in the first matchup, that was Derwin James' first game in the NFL. Derwin James is Defensive Rookie of the Year. And to your point about Patrick Mahomes outside the pocket versus inside the pocket, this is amazing. He has almost 1,100 yards outside the pocket. Second place in the NFL is Russell Wilson with half of that. When he gets out the pocket, it's an entirely different offense. Therefore, it's an entirely different defensive perspective you have, because you haven't seen that type of playmaker outside the tackle box.
I get that point, and I hear you. And I hear the offensive bent side, that's coming from this wide receiver over
He's
here.
fitting it too.
Okay? But the thing that I know is that you can give me a top-shelf defense still, even though we've tried to change the narrative about offenses and defense and how the game is being played. Give me a top-flight defense over a top-flight offense any day of the week and give me a defensive coordinator that understands the importance of the fundamentals of the game and making sure if my defensive ends get up the field 3.5 yards, shut it down. Okay? Because you can't get above the quarterback and create that gap between the tackle. So you're gonna have to do some spying. You're gonna have to do some unconventional things. You got to put pressure on Patrick Mahomes. You cannot let him sit back there. You cannot let him run wild. And good defenses and good defensive coordinators understand that.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna give you credit.
I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
Wait, he give me credit.
No, I'm gonna give you credit for real, because I like my point of view about tonight's game.
Oh, yeah.
You've changed the conversation, giving me something to think about, because I agree with you. I think a month from now, there's more growth that can be had for the Los Angeles Chargers because they do need Bosa all the way healthy. You got their rookie big play playmaker, safety, who will be better. The only thing I'll say is I think Eric Berry's playing tonight, and that'll be a huge addition for the Kansas City Chiefs tonight and moving forward.